Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to get that smiling face.
I guess I'm the one that's in charge of the electronics tonight.
Oh, except this. I get to take charge of this.
Well, there you go.
These guys covered it up
Well, family and friends, this is the time that we entertain. I want you to know I'm like little Jimmy Dickens. I'm not a singer, I'm an entertainer. And before we start tonight, you notice I'm wearing one of the flags tonight of this great country that we live in, of America. Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And I think that we should be very serious about upcoming elections, that we vote for people that will keep us free, that we can come here and do things like this in our land. Before we start, we're going to call on Matthew Erickson to come up and sing the national anthems of these two great countries. Matthew?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons' command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Matthew. Well, you know, I'm always around said that they wanted me to do a couple of numbers. So here they are. Thank you.
When you least expect it, you are dead.
Where's Ron and his wife? Oh, Ron, would you stand up? Do you mind if you and your wife stand up? Ron and his wife are part of the Homeowners Association. He's the president. I knew it. He's the president, and they're so excited about being able to come and be with us. Hey, Levi, nobody told you that the water pipe has to be down below the house. Sorry, just saying, just saying. I see the marks, I see your marks. Anyways, we want to thank them because this evening, this is really nice of them. There's a bunch of lotions and a sweet little treat in there from Avon, and they have given me stuff. Oh, Mary Kay. Oh, I know Mary Kay. I read it, Mary Kay. Beautiful stuff. This is great lotion. I looked right at it, knew what it was. So, I'm sure you boys might want it for your significant other, but it's just going to be incoming. We're just going to throw it if you catch it. If it kills you, we have no liability. That's all we're telling you. Anyways, I think we need to give them a round of applause.
Down, and so if they'll come forward, but while they're coming, I want to tell you about the high-tech world that we live in. You have kids around that do this all the time, or grandkids. Well, now even the funeral parlors have got high-tech. Up in our country, they have an outfit that slips on the bottom of the casket. When the casket rolls out, the wheels drop down automatically, and it rolls. We had in Legacy had one of these, and they had a young man. They started up the hill in Cardston. Somebody was backing out, and so he stopped. And when he started up again, the door hadn't been closed properly. Out rolled the casket, hit the ground, rolled over, bumped into a pickup, down the street about 10 feet, hit a tree, and turned. A fellow was coming out of the drugstore, and he went like that and opened the door for him. The casket went in, hit the counter, poof, the lid flew open. And the guy stood up and said, "You got anything to stop this coughing?" High tech. Well, anyway, I'm going to put 2 or 3 to start with. I'm an impersonator, not an impressionist. I'm not here to impress you. If you've ever been in the Sound of Music or seen it, it goes something like this. The hills are alive with the sounds of music and songs that we sing for 1,000 years. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you found your dream. Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, pure and bright, clean and fine. Bless our homeland forever. Okay, we'll have a time.
Hey everybody, we have the youngest one of our clans starting us off. This is Larissa. We give her a hand here. She's a little nervous. She's got a vegetable song that you should listen to.
Hold it right up close.
Today for show and tell, I'm so excited I could gel. Can't wait to show you, it's so cool. I went to Grandma's yesterday, worked in her garden the whole day. She let me bring some veggies here to school. I got a carrot, I got a yam, I got a green bean fresh now from a can. Got a potato, as you can probably see. I also got a pea. I got a pea, I got a pea. Why is everyone laughing at me? So if you find a little pea on the floor after I leave, I think it probably belongs to me.
You don't hear that kind of vegetable song every day. Thank you, Larissa. Right, very good. You know, this is another one of those special years that one of our members has gone on, and I want to dedicate a reading to Donnie. You know, Donnie was about work, and about play, and about tall tales. And so what more fitting than for me to tell a Western tall tale about fishing, because some of you know that I fish, and I stretch my fish. So two men had gone out together on the opening day of the fishing season to the same fishing hole for the last 49 years. But as the 50th year approached, they had a disagreement. First man said, I want to go back to the same spot. We've always caught fish there. I can feel that. Second man said, I was thinking about trying somewhere new. And so the first time in half a century, they agreed to go their separate ways. They met the following Monday. The first man asked his friend, well, how did you do? That new spot pay off? Well, of course, most certainly, the second man said. I got there just as dawn was breaking, baited up with a big old worm and cast out. Then I waited. The sun came up, and I figured that as the day warmed, the fish would start biting. Along about mid-morning, my bobber just swoosh went down under the water, right? I grabbed up my rod and waited. Sure enough, I set the hook. Did I ever have a dandy? I thought I'd hooked a small freight train. That's what it felt like. I battled that fish back and forth for the most part of an hour before I was able to land it. Wow, the first guy said, how much did he weigh? Well, that rainbow trout, he was 32 pounds. But how'd you do? Well, you know, I had me a bunch of nibbles, the first man said. Finally got a good strike. We tussled back and forth, and I managed to reel him in. Would you believe that he wrapped himself around the handle of the lantern that you and I had lost back in 1937. The crazy part was the light was still on. The second man looked a little sheepish, right? And I've been there before. He said, all right, I'll tell you what. I'll knock off 30 pounds off my fish if you'll change your story and at least turn the light off, right? You know, for many, many, many years, Uncle Donnie's been part of the fun and the water fights and the skits. You know, and I had a friend that looked at some of the pictures of me and skits over the years. And he said, how come you always dress up like a girl about every other year? And I said, well, I've got a couple cousins that do the same thing, so I guess I might as well. And you know, I started off very nervous coming to this family reunion, right? My wife Debbie knows, and I didn't want to come. And this guy came, and he threw water in my face and said, hey, it's nice to meet you, and went running off. And I was done, right? And from then on, we chased each other, and I plan on chasing him up in heaven down the road. Thank you guys very much. Graham, you want to go next? All right.
I'm gonna bring something?
Nope, you go first.
Well, Tyson was here last year without me, with my dad and some friends and his brother, and he played for you. But this year he's gone on his mission. We dropped him off 2 weeks ago. Funny, I didn't cry when I dropped him off, but I want to in front of all of you. It was fun because they drop them off and they go around this whole big half a loop, and there's like 10 cars and a bunch of missionaries that live there, and they come out and steal your child. And it was pouring rain. It was so hilarious. There was no crying. Like, we were laughing. And then Tyson's going on his way, and he turns like this, and his tears started. It was if he just wouldn't have looked back. It was all good. But he has written, I think you've heard some of the songs he's written, but he wrote a song about being a missionary or going on a mission and the commitment of doing that. And he, if anyone writes him and tells him, I've played it for you, I'll deny it. Because that was the instructions. Do not play my songs. Well, this doesn't count. Just don't rat me out. Okay.
He said, step up and be a man, 'cause I know you know it's true. If you don't have a plan, I'm about to tell you. When you're out there, be strong and leave it on the floor. 'Cause you don't wanna come back wishing you would have done more. When times get real hard, you spend them on your knees. Bow your head to the ground and ask him sincerely, could you give me the strength to go on and change the way things are? I believe you could change the whole world from the bottom of my heart. And then he says, son, pray for the day when you change somebody's life. And watch the miracle that changes them inside. That's the day you will know when you come to realize that he is watching you from above within his sky. Them times will come when he's standing next to you. In the quiet places you will hear the truth, that there is only one way to come back home. And that's the way that you and I both know. And so we got a choice to go. I know you hear the voice, and you know that it's up to you to follow through. It's up to you. It's up to you. Whoa, it's up to you. It's up to you. He says, step up and be a man, 'cause I know you know it's true.
You're up, Brenna.
I figured Jeff would introduce you.
Everybody just declare my favorite mother-in-law. Kidding.
I got this from my girlfriend, so
Turn it on. No, just keep it that way, Uncle Dean.
Turn the microphone on, huh?
I got this from my girlfriend in California that sends quite a few real cute stuff to me. And I thought, aha, the reunion. Yesterday I was in my local Costco buying a large bag of Purina dog chow for my loyal pet, Jake the Wonder Dog, and was in the checkout line when a woman behind me asked me if I had a dog. Why do you think I had an elephant? I retired and had little to do. On impulse, I told her that no, I did not have a dog. I was starting the Purina diet again. I added that I probably shouldn't because I ended up in the hospital last time, but that I'd lost 50 pounds before I awakened in an intensive care ward with tubes coming out of most of my orifices and IVs in both arms. I told her that it was essentially a perfect diet and that the way it works is to load your pant pockets with Purina nuggets and simply eat 1 or 2 every time you feel hungry. The food is nutritionally complete, so it works well. And I was going to try it again. I have to mention that was particularly everyone in line was now enthralled with my story. Horrified, she asked if I ended up in intensive care because the dog food poisoned me. I told her no. I stepped off a curb to sniff a poodle's ass in a car. I thought the guy behind her was going to have a heart attack. He was laughing so hard. Costco won't let me come anymore. Better watch what you ask retired people. They have all the time in the world to think of crazy things to say. And she says, forward this to all your retired friends who are looking their laugh for the day.
Thank you. You have some more things, Berezay, from your family?
No, that's all.
That's all? Well, as we're getting ready to move on to Vern's group, I want you to know that down in Macomb, Mississippi, we have a family there by the name of Ledbetter. There's Uncle Berezay and Aunt Ted, Ardell, Burnell, Udell, Claude, Clinton, and Eugene, and Marcel. But Udell was out digging a post hole one day, and we had a new preacher in town. He walked up to him and he said, "Are you a Christian?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm a Ledbetter." "No," he said, "you don't get it." He said, "Are you lost?" "No," he said, "I've lived here all my life." No, he still says you still don't get it. He said, "Are you prepared for the resurrection?" And old Udell says, "Oh, when's it going to be?" And the preacher says, "Well, it could be today and it could be tomorrow." Well, he says, "Don't tell my wife. She'll want to go both days." Okay, Vern's family will be our next performers. And anyway, what a group. And I'm like everybody else. Donnie Berezay could take a bad situation or a good situation and make the best of it. He was one of a kind, and you know, it's tough on us left behind. But when the Lord looked down and he'd have trouble with that beautiful big heart he had, he said, "I've got a job for you up here." And that's why he went. Thank you, Donnie. Okay, Vern.
Addie's got something. Go, Addie. Go, Addie.
And if you're afraid of the mic, put it on your neck like this, see, and then tell me.
You looking for Isaac?
Yes.
Isaac, where are you?
Isaac.
Where's Isaac? Right behind you. No, that's not Isaac. Oh, that's not Isaac.
Isaac. You see her.
Entertain us in the meantime. Entertain us.
Let somebody else go first and then you can come back.
Okay.
Puppet show. He's running, he's coming around.
I cannot come up.
Yay, Isaac!
No, I'm not in. I have a different team. Aren't you in it? Somebody's team. You don't need them.
Come on, girls, let's hurry.
This is really good gum. It's actually rainbow colored, every flavored, never ending gum. So good.
This is a nice place to sit on. Ew, what's that? Gum.
Come on, Junior, let's go.
Oh, forgot my gum. Tastes even better than before.
Alright, up next we have a little comedy routine from Mr. Hawkins Stewart, aka the Hawk.
It is great to be here in Montana. Thanks for coming out. I went bowling recently. I don't mean to brag. There's really only two types of people that go bowling. Those that really love to go bowling, and then there are the other people that say, wouldn't it be hysterical if we went bowling? My dad loves to go camping, but I'm what you like to call indoorsy. My mom says that camping is a good thing. Family routine. Wait. Tradition in our family, and it was a tradition in everyone's family until we invented the house. Some parents never take their kids camping because they love them. It's so great going camping, and how come all the bugs try getting to get in my house? Happy camper! Has anyone really met a happy camper? Whenever we use that term, you know we are being sarcastic. He is not a happy camper. You know who is a happy camper? The guy who's leaving the campsite. He gets to go home and take a shower. There's bears when you go camping. Last time I went camping, I read a pamphlet that said, if a bear approaches, play dead. Really? We are going to rely on my acting skills? Who came up with that? Maybe Play Doug, cover yourself in honey, climb on a large white plate. Don't try it and run away from us. The bears. Play dead.
Alright, give it up for Hawkins Stewart. Alright, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a real treat. Wow, how do I describe this? Well, we've all heard of Bear Grylls, the survival expert on the Discovery Channel. Well, we now have his cousin here with us tonight. Well, fourth cousin, second removed. From the deepest depths of Glacier National Park, the myth he now hails from Whitefish. Let's give it up for Billy Bob Berezay, a.k.a. the Heartthrob.
Oh, thank you. Too kind. Wow. Well, Heartthrob, man, a.k.a. Honey Badger. Get this Heartthrob going. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Honey Badger don't care. Hey, that kid was funny, man. Funny kid. Good genes, apparently. How y'all doing? Hey, as Mr. Paul said, you know, I'm kind of a distant cousin of Bear Grylls. You know, he grew up over here and did all sorts of amazing stuff, special forces. He eats all sorts of neat animals and bugs and, you know, so he's pretty cool. But anyways, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing, but, you know, I'm kind of a survival specialist myself. I've done some pretty amazing stuff also. You know, plus I got this machete. It's my machete. You know, machetes from my Spanish amigos. Cialba? No? Okay. Alright, well, I was just passing through, you know, I heard this big reunion, I just want to stop in and see all the lovely faces. There are some lovely faces. You the one with the camera. Alright, well, I'm just going to take a couple quick questions. Anybody got any questions made for me? You know, so Q&A. No, I know we've got other things to move on. Yeah, I'll give you.
Have you ever eaten anything interesting out in the wild?
That's a good question. Ever eaten anything interesting out in the wild? Well, I remember back in '82, I was deep in the woods of Glacier National Park, and I had a chili dog that was. I think that chili was a bit rank. I mean, I think that can of chili was probably from 54 or something because, man, it tore me up. But, I mean, that wasn't interesting. You know, I used in the wilderness. One time I did eat a large caterpillar. I wasn't trying to. I just happened to be running quite fast, and it just went down the throat. Good question. Good question. Anybody else? Another question? Come on, Al. Come on. Yeah, you shoot.
What's the best way to kill a bear?
Best way to kill a bear? Well, you know, myself, a lot of times I'll use my bare hands, but that's probably not the best way. Trust me, not the best way. But, best way, well, my ex-wife, she used to make this casserole. I'll tell you what, man, you put that out there in the woods, you got a pile of dead bears. That's probably the best way. Don't tell her. I mean, she's my ex, but, you know, we'll try to stay close, we'll be friends. Yeah, good question. Yeah, yes, sir.
Why are the flaps up on your hat?
Well, you know, it is a little warmer out right now, and I'm performing here. I get a little nervous at times, and I don't want to start sweating profusely. Yeah, let me show you. Well, so you understand, the milk gets stuck in my hair, the whiskers, it's not pretty. But don't be asking for this hat. This is a hat that I got from, I can't even talk about it. I get worked up. But it's a special hat. Yes, you see the funny man, yeah, I can see you're in awe. What's your question? Why are you supposed to play dead? I mean, that's, like he said, I mean, really? We're relying on acting skills? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Good question. Yes, sir. Bam. Anyway. Question in the back? I want to make sure I answer all your questions before I leave. Yes, ma'am. I love your accent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What is the
Read good.
dangerous survival situation you've ever been in?
Most dangerous survival situation I've been in? Well, there again, we're probably going to have to go back to my first marriage. Oh, Rita. Anyway, tell you what, she was 6'5", 6'8" with the hiking boots. And I tell you what, man, she had a kick like a mule on steroids. And so, surviving that marriage was probably the greatest. Good question. All right, folks?
Does that mean you're single?
Shoot. Well, for you, ma'am, you are pretty. But, no, I am taken. You see a little wing there? It's not a tattoo or nothing. I'm a married man, yes. Lucky lady. Well, I should say, I'm a lucky man, but she's an even luckier lady. This is actually her shirt. She loaned it to me. I didn't have any clean ones, and I wanted to look good for you guys. So. But, yeah, she's a special one. She's not here right now, but I appreciate it. I am honored by your remark, and I thank you. In another life, maybe. Third.
Is she lucky because what you have isn't contagious?
Right. It's not. I keep telling her it's not contagious. It's not contagious. Not contagious. That rash will be going away soon. You know, it was one of those survival moments down in the swamps, and you know. Anyway, I digress. Yes, sir, young man.
Have you ever killed an alligator?
Have I ever killed an alligator? Shoot. What haven't I killed, man?
You get eaten.
No. Have you ever had an alligator shish kebab? You ever had alligator helper?
Nope, never had any part of an.
You have not lived until you've had alligator helper. So you tell your mom put that on the list of to make the next couple of nights. All right?
You mean our auntie?
We'll come again.
Auntie.
Oh, your auntie, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You have your auntie make you up some alligator surprise, alligator helper.
Okay, I'm not going.
Yep, ma'am. Bedroom.
I'd like to know who your dentist is. I kind of like to avoid him.
Well, no, he's a real good guy. He's cool. I mean, he does all his work out of his garage, and I mean, he does my taxidermy as well. He does a real fine job. So I would recommend it. Yeah, yes, sir.
When's the last time you cut your hair?
Last time I cut my hair. I did trim it last week.
On your head.
Oh, on my head. Oh. Thank you for clarifying it. You know, I get a tremendous amount of, you know, just right in this area. And if I don't trim that at least once or twice a day, man, my wife, she just goes nuts. Well, it's been a while. I don't have a good hairstyle, so I've been trying. I got a good dentist, but you know, I'm looking. Who does your circuit? I like the flat top. That'll probably look good on me. Yeah, Yeah, you too. Early. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I put stuff on my teeth all the time. I mean, people, you need to take advantage of these things. These are weapons. You can use these all the time out there in the wilderness and to survive. And I mean, I've climbed glaciers with these things. You know, bears, you name it. Honey badger. No, honey badger. We don't even talk about honey badger. I don't even mess with that. That's a honey badger. No, but yeah, they've got me out of a pinch and a pickle a couple of times now.
What do you think of the Duck Dynasty series?
Duck Dynasty, oh, that is good stuff. I mean, yeah, that's funny. I mean, I like it. You know, they actually asked me to be a special guest on the show, but I said, no, man, I'm doing my own thing. I don't like the limelight and the fame and all that stuff, so, but it's funny. It's funny. I got it on my VCR. Watch it all the time on beat. You guys got a VCR? Real slick. You can record stuff on the TV and watch it later. So, yeah, sure. No, well, it's more for looks because I like to use my hands, my teeth. I mean, I like to get in there and get dirty. So this is more just, you know, to ward off the ladies and, you know, small children. So, favorite football team? Now, what are we talking? Pro, college, high school, what? College, well, it's tough. You know, big Montana Grizzlies, man. Have any Montana Grizzlies fans here? Yeah, they're good. You know, I hear these Boise State Broncos are pretty good too. But you know, I don't really follow sports. I'm trivial stuff. I'm doing important things out there in the world. So every once in a while, I'll take a break and watch them. So. You know, you've all been a great crowd. I'm grateful I could be here and impart my wisdom to you guys and you know, partake of your beauty, especially you. But thank you again for having me. Billy Bob Heartthrob Berezay. You know, if you're ever up in Oilmont, you know, I'll hang out up there a lot. Real nice place up there. I got a real nice spread. If you're up that way, shop on in. We'll pick you up some gator helper. Take care now, folks. No electrician process. No electrician process, sir.
He left one thing out. He didn't tell you about the time that the bear, when a bear comes after you, if you stand up, he stands up too. And when he comes, you gotta be real quick. If you can reach in quick and grab his tail and jerk it like that, he turns inside out and goes the other direction. Okay, that's a tail story. Okay, we'll go from Byrne to Lloyd's group now.
Hasn't Byrne got any more?
They said they shut the gate. But anyway, I know a fellow that, you imagine, 6'3", 135 pounds, long beard, mustache, sometime. And back in his day, you know what this H. Steve is back in his day? Held him down. His name was J. Golden Kimball.
Well, brothers and sisters, I'm a sinner too. I haven't always walked the straight and narrow, but I've glasses off in the cut. And I want to tell you another thing. If you find a man that's dishonest, you can baptize him every 15 minutes. It won't do you a bit of good. The only way to solve his problems, hold it under.
I'm going to see if I can get through this. This is a request that has come a couple of times, so I'm going to try to do this in memory of Dad. Reincarnation. What is reincarnation? A cowboy asked his friend. He replied, it happens when your life comes to an end. They comb your hair, wash your neck, and clean your fingernails and lay you in a padded box away from life's travails. The box in you goes in a hole. It's been dug deep in the ground. Reincarnation starts, my friend, when they plant you beneath that mound. The claws melt down just like you, just like the box, and you are inside. And then you are just on the beginning of your transformation ride. In a while, the grass will grow upon that rendered mound, till someday on your molded grave a lonely flower is found. And say a hawk should wander by and graze upon this flower that once was you, but now has become your vegetative bower. The posse that the hoss done ate, up with his other feed, makes bone and fat and muscle essential to that steed. But some is left that he cannot use, and so it passes through, and finally lays upon the ground that thing that once was you. Then say by chance, I wander by and see this object lying on the ground, and I ponder and I wonder, and I think of reincarnation, of life and death and such, and I come away concluding, why shucks, Don, you ain't changed that much. Alrighty, that was for Dad. Enough of the sentimental stuff. We have a few little girls that want to put on a little show they've been working for a while on.
You girl.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. She's going off about something that you said. She doesn't get your humor like I do. She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers. Dreaming about the day when you wake up and find what you're looking for has been here the whole time. If you could see that I'm the one who understands you, then you're all alone. So why can't you see? You belong with me. You belong with me.
Alrighty, now we're going to bring in the rest of the crew and perform another act for you.
Eric, cheers. Chair up. Watch out.
Yeah, you better put yours up, Dan, so you can hear that blowing out. Well, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it would kind of add to it, but it might hurt.
It'll make you wonder what's in my red solo cup.
That's the truth. Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Kind of redneck, isn't it? It is. Yeah, buddy. Oh, red solo cup is the best anywhere. For potluck reunions and everything there. And you, sir, are unacceptable if you prefer drinking from a pink glass. Red solo cup is cheap and disposable. In 14 years, he'll be decomposable. And unlike the Haven, they're not foreclosable. And Marie, you're a touch of class. Oh, God. Let's fill you up and have a party. Let's have a party. Oh, red solo cup. Let's lift you up and start a party, a birthday party. Well, I really love how you're easy to stack, but I really hate how you're easy to crack. Cause when the water runs down the front of my back, my friends, that's a dawn attack. But I have to admit that you've all been smitten, because Uncle Dean, when the auction is kicking, don't forget Lloyd when you go cowpoking, cause nobody's better than Dad when he's out roping. Come on, I'm solo cup. Let's have a party, a birthday party. Red solo cup. Let's lift you up and start a party. A birthday party. Well, now we've seen you in blue, Vern, and Lloyd, we've seen you in yellow, but only you purple will do. You're the Abbott to my Costello, and we are the fruit of your looms. Because we are the family of Edna and Jean. They are the reason that we came to this scene. We're all so amazing. We're all so fantastic. And believe you me, we are never sarcastic when we look at you and say, Purple Solo Cup, you're not just a cup, you're a birthday. Let's have a party, love birthday party. Whoa, Purple Solo Cup. Let's lift you up and start a party. Let's have a party.
Can you hear me? How many people was at the auction
with this book that went off. They're making a whole bunch of them. There's a guy in Nephi just making them put them together, so if you want them, it's just a book of Dad and all the events that took place during that time. Pictures, memories, all that stuff. So if you want one, talk to Dave Rams. They can get you the number or email the guy if you want to order one from him. It'll probably make you cry.
Okay, I just want to tell you a little story about this song really quick. First of all, my name's Dan Woodland. I'm from Nephi. Don Berezay was a great friend of ours, and somehow we got adopted by the Lloyd clan. Don was kind of like a second dad to me. He was a dad to a lot of people, but he was like a second dad to me, and he loved my kids, and we'll never forget him. And one day I was at work, and I had a rough day, and I came home, and the words popped in my head. Don, he'd be disappointed in my day. And at that point in time, I took a little bit of time, I grabbed my guitar, and I started writing songs that I could always remember just who he was, so I wouldn't disappoint him anymore. I'm not going to cry, I promise. But anyway, I started writing this song, and I come up with everything that the song needed except for one verse. And they want us to play it here today. And on our way up here, Mitch Durbin, you guys all know Mitch, he helped me write the last part of the chorus to finish off the song. My voice is a little rough, but we're going to sing it anyway, and we're going to see if we can do it some justice. Here we go. short and stocky, only had one eye, tougher than nails, gravel in his eye. Old cowboy and a straight shooting son of a gun.
Okay, thank you for that tribute, that beautiful song. And I want you to know, any of you that got any water on you, don't worry about it. Every one of us was wet when we was born. We got two little girls who want to come up here and do a puppet show for you. I don't know who they belong to, but they belong. You need the mic? Okay. You're on stage. And we expect this to keep happening. You say we won't be in charge until I'm 90